How's it going, guys? Welcome to today's video. Preparations are still underway, getting the farm ready for calving season, which is fast approaching now. We could have calves dropping within a few days. Next week definitely they're going to start. So I'm in the machinery shed here now, and we've cleared it all out, taken out any bits, parts and equipment that were in here, and power washed it. I'm going to get the bobman and spread some lime in here, and then I'll bring in the bales. I probably won't roll them out yet. Right, we got 5 bales in here now. We should give it a good bedding, just to make sure this gate closes now. So we just have this old IBC full of water here that the 2 gates are tight at, and it just latches in there. It works pretty well, although most years someone hits this at some point during the year and moves it, and then when you go to close the gate in the spring, this gate usually stays open for most of the year. When you go to close it then at this time of year, there's a lot of wiggling around. That's the first time it hasn't been moved and it fits perfectly. So we'll probably land in some bales here to close up this side of the shed. That's what we normally do. But she's ready to go now. And the other side of the wall here, that's the machine shed in there. This is the calving shed, and where we had the silage, that's all ready to go as well. Just after a few days away, bit of a rest stop before things kick off. Preparations still underway here. Got a few sacks of pallets here ready. This is up near our calf house, the old dairy where we keep a lot of milk and the calf rearing equipment. We will put some of the milk that doesn't go into tank that's fed to calves into IBCs. Then I usually put them on top of those pallets so that it can flow from the IBC into the milk cart, and then we don't have to be pumping it out of them. So I'm just going to get a few of the bales taken out of this shed. I'm going to put them in the entrance of the machinery shed, which you saw earlier in the video of us getting ready. So you can see now this end of the shed is blocked up a bit better with the bales stacked in there. So we're after bringing over a few cows from into the shed so that they're close beside these straw beds that are starting to spring up a good bit. We actually moved a few cows who were in here that aren't sprung up back to A, just so it doesn't get too overcrowded in here. There's a couple of cows out here in the calving shed. We have a couple of heifers in here in the calving shed, have the straw rolled out. Some of those lights need to be cleaned, they're not very bright. But yeah, some close. Some of them very close to calving now, and we actually had a couple calf during the night last night. So it is just starting to kick off now. There'll just be a few dabble at the start here, but then within the next couple of days it's really going to take off. So there we have our first couple of calves. Getting exciting now. So next up on my to-do list, There's a few cows here in this pen who are missing some tags, mainly electronic tags, and we would have caught them after we sorted through all the cows. We would have been left with these cows at the end who weren't picked out. We have their tags here now. I'm going to replace them. There's probably a few over in the main bunch who are missing regular tags still, but I will have replacements for them, so I'll catch them when they calf, or if not, I cannot, because they have the electronic tag and I have their replacement tag, I can simply just put them in the computer and pick them out at a later date. But it's the ones who are missing the electronic tags are harder to get because you can't just put them in the computer. So I have them all here now. Hopefully there will be no more for a while. So I'll run them through the crush and put in the replacement tags. Come on, girls. We tried out this putting the blue barrel in under the cow's head as like a head scoop. We saw it, Dad showed me, was on Twitter. Catherine, who's milking once a day, had it up as a tip. Worked very well there for replacing the tags. Now, just down here at our non-disposable pile of scrap, which means these are pieces of metal that could be useful you're not allowed to get rid of. I'm just after pulling this wonky old bar out of it. This may come in handy. So I got it kind of bent more into a curve. You'll see now whether it'll work or not. So these are our individual pens. We don't put all the calves in individual pens. We calve a lot of cows very quickly, so all the calves just go straight into group pens. But occasionally you get a calf that you know, the mother doesn't lick it, or more likely just one cow springs up and calves very quickly in the cubicles. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. If a calf is wet or dirty and is not being dried and they're going to get cold, we do have some individual pens here, some boxes, homemade versions, that we can put that calf under a red lamp until it's warm and dry, and then it can be moved into the main group. So these are our homemade individual pens. So they're just old IBCs. We just cut off the top of the rack and the top of the container, and we drill a load of holes in the bottom. The holes in this one are kind of small. Here's the one with bigger holes. That's to let any seepage drain out of them. So we just put a bit of straw into them like this, and we can hang a red lamp. So this is basically just what we've done, is stick in a bit of rebar here with a red lamp hanging out of it, and it works very, very well. If we want to shelter it more, we can put some sort of cover over it. Again, homemade job. It might just be a sheet of plywood, or it might be actually just the tops of the IBCs that we've taken off. You know, you can always put that on back on top and sit the red lamp through it if you want, but usually it's not that necessary. So we have these right beside our old dairy where there's Nicole. This is where we wash everything, have all our calving equipment. So the individual pens are right out here. It's kind of handy, they're right beside you, easy to keep an eye on these calves. It's kind of a high traffic area as well, we often walk through here. So you can keep an eye on those calves, and once they're ready, they can be moved. Now for the test, will this bar work? Okay, I decided to put it in this one. It did work perfectly. just sit it down into these here. So you just slip it into that, and that's perfect. That's not going anywhere. So now you can just tie your red lamp on with twine. Very homemade job. This one's a little bit different. As you can see, it's a round pipe and it's crimped in here. So now that's 2 of them ready. So the girls will be giving these sheds just a quick wash. They were clean, but just give them another run, and then we can throw down some lime and bring some bales in here so that they're all ready to go. That's going to be all for today's video, guys. Thanks very much for watching. See you in the next one.